Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Sex9TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania. And that is how you close a Mania.
What else will you get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night SmackDown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby. Hello, how are you guys doing? If you missed NXT, you missed a pretty exciting show to the end, but we are going to stay positive. Top comment of the day goes to Pierre, Tay, and Icy Brazy. Some new people got top commenter of the day. So, B. Jeffers, hello. Hello to you, Nika. Hello, Aaliyah. And hello, Kenny. Now, to go over everything that we saw today, I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. If I miss some stuff, I miss some stuff. Well, the last match of the night really left a sour taste in my mouth. However, no, ain't no however. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I'm never going to like it. It doesn't matter how you explain it, how you spin it. I hate every minute of it. I just do. But I get what they're doing. They won Judgment Day decked out in gold. And now Dominic Mysterio didn't have to do nothing to get a fucking title. He basically just walked in and got a whole bunch of cronies so he can maintain himself as a champion. Amazing sauce. So whatever. If that's what you like, that's on you. Me personally, I'm not a fan. I will never be a fan of that. So it is what it is. And I don't feel like it was fair to Wes Lee to end his championship reign like that. Like, he deserved better than that. Like, Charlotte didn't have a historic title reign, but she got to have an historic match with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Same thing goes for Bianca Belair, and she had to end her title reign, but at least Bianca had substance. Bianca had wrestled Asuka before. Asuka couldn't beat her, so she cheated, right? This was not like that. This was a one-off match. It was a challenge, one of those open challenge matches that he requested. Wesley was not doing them anymore. He requested the open challenge, and then all of a sudden he gets his two boys to come in there and steal it for him. So now Dominic is a fucking champion. Congratulations. I hope you're happy. Me personally, I am not. I can give less than a fuck about Dominic being champion. I'm not going to watch him cut promos with that title. I don't care. Y'all could tell me I'm petty. I don't care. I don't give two fucks about what you're talking about right now. I can give less than a damn. All right? I'm not looking at the comments right now because I need to be able to get through this show without having a fucking conniption on people voicing their opinions that they're rightfully allowed to have. But I'm mad, so just make sure you understand that I'm pissed. So NXT, how did NXT start? Because I don't even fucking remember. I'm so upset. I don't even fucking remember. I don't remember how it started. Uh, I don't remember how it started. I'm so angry. I'm so upset by that. Oh, it was with Carmelo and them basically talking about Ilya interfering in his match and stuff. Which, like I said before last week, I understood why Carmelo was upset, and I understand fully why Ilya got involved. Both of them had good intentions, but at the same time, it's like the way that it's gonna play out is an old trope way of doing a feud between two people. And quite frankly, I feel like this particular feud between Ilya and Carmelo could have played out this way on its own natural volition. It didn't have to go the route that it's going with Ilya interfering in Carmelo's stuff like this. However, I understand it. I get it. I'm not mad about that. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So Ilya was out there, Carmelo was out there. They cut bomb promos on each other. Okay, the promos they cut on each other was spectacular. Okay, Carmelo's promo was bomb. Ilya came back and was not shaking in his boots at all. He was prepared, he was ready, and he had that fool. Okay, he was like, no, 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 no. It's not gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? They was going back and forth, and we love that. Now, after that, what do we get after that? What was it? Nathan Frazier, Dragon Lee, and Umberto and Angel Garza. That's what we got after that. So this was an interesting match. And I told y'all that this match was probably going to be one of the best matches of the night. And it definitely was. They did not disappoint between these two teams. It was very well done. The end is where things got a little shaky on Umberto and Angel's part. Now, Nathan Frazier and Dragon Lee were able to recover and pick up the win. Nathan and Dragon were going back and forth. Nathan was able to take out Umberto. Angel ended up taking out Nathan, and that's when Dragon Lee took out Umberto Carrillo, and that's how he was able to pick up the win. No, he picked it up on Angel. I'm sorry. He went after Angel, took out Angel, and picked up the win on Angel. Umberto was laid out from when Nathan took him out. Umberto walked around the edge of the ring to get to his side, but he never climbed back up, and Angel took the 3 point. Now, after this match was over, Julissa and Valentina was out there to congratulate them, and they was with them for whatever reason. It worked for them to have them out there, but Umberto and Angel was arguing, and Angel was mad at Umberto because he did not come in the ring to help him. Well, Umberto did not take that shit kindly, and he pushed his cousin flat on his ass and told him it was his fault that he lost the match. And he walked his ass out of there and climbed up into the stands and walked out. He didn't walk out through the damn entrance. He walked out through you had to go through the bleachers, honey, to get out of there. I was like, I don't know what they doing with Umberto and Angel, but it looked like they breaking them apart, honey. I'm not mad at that. I think that as a tag team, they worked out. They worked out well as a tag team, in my opinion. But Umberto and Angel as separate competitors, I think would work. But I don't know. I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with them if they decide to split them up. I'm very curious about that. Any whoosies, we also got a big old thing from Tony D today. So Tony was out there and he basically was telling everybody how everything went down between him, Stacks, and Gallus. Now, Stacks did have all of us fooled because I was sitting here like, damn, Stacks, you ain't have to put your homeboy in jail like that just so you can take over the business. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But That's not what happened. So if you didn't watch it, I'm gonna explain it in the simplest of form. They came up with a plan. Stax did actually. The plan was for them to pretend like Stax was frustrated with Tony. He didn't want to be the underboss no more, and he wanted to be the Don. So they kidnapped Joe Coffey, put him in the car, and it made Joe think that Stax was turning on Tony and leaving him in jail. Then he was gonna convince him to, hey, let's have a match so we can make it look like Tony thinks I'm fighting for him, and then I'll give up the game. So what happened in the match? Stax agreed to disagree. Stax basically was like, I ain't no snitch. I'm not doing that. And he went on ahead and he beat Joe Coffey. The stipulation in that match was if he beat Joe, that Gallus has to give Stax and Tony D a title shot, and Tony D gets out of jail. So because Stax won, all of the things that he wanted, they got. When they had their little homecoming for Tony D, Gallus came out there and was very upset, calling Tony and Stax some, the lowest of the low. They call them U's and U's. I don't understand why they had so many U's in the sentence, but that's what they did, honey. They called him the lowest of the low and said that he ain't shit, and basically he didn't agree to the deal. Well, they didn't like that. And Tony D's family was in the ring, and everybody was in there, what they call his family, and everybody was in the ring. And Gallus was like, you know what? We're not even gonna let you make it to Great American Bash. We taking you out now. So Coffee comes out with this little mini bat. I don't know what it is called, a club or what it was, but it was a little mini bat. But it's fitting because he's a little mini man. And then that's when Tony D'Angelo's whole family pull out crowbars. Everybody pulling out crowbars, honey. I was like, oh, it looked like you had them pass, hun. you're not getting nowhere. So they beat the hell out of the Gallus and beat Joe Coffey down. And it looked like it's gonna be Tony D'Angelo versus Tony D'Angelo and Stax versus Gallus for the NXT Tag Team Championships. There also was a match between Gigi Dolan and Kiana James. Again, Kiana came out there with her Shein best. And she decided to come out and had the match with Gigi. She tried to use her bag in the match, and Gigi grabbed it from her. The ref then took the bag from Gigi, and she was trying to take it back, and that's how she was able to get the drop on Gigi and get her for the pin. So now Gigi owns a pin over Kiana, and Kiana owns a pin over Gigi. And it's only one way to solve this, to either go inside a steel cage or get one more match between these two hoes. And I would imagine they are going to compete against each other again at the Great American Bash. Not only that, but Thea Hale competed tonight on NXT as well. She went up against Elektra Lopez. Her and Lola decided they was going to do their own little thing with the hair flip and the hands and the periods. And I'm like, girl, that's why you lost. Anyways, Alessia Lopez dominated majority of that match with Thea Hale, but Thea Hale had an ace in the hole. And essentially, what she did was she used that Kimura lock on Elektra Lopez as she was trying to use her power on Thea, but she could not best Thea in that submission move. She ended up dropping to her knees on the mat flat and tapping. Elektra tapped. And your girl Lopez was too busy switching and overdrawing her lips to come in there and help her. Lola just left her down there dead. Girl, she was out there deceased with her lips pursed. Baby, it was sad. Anyway, Thea Hale cut a little promo and Thea said, I'm going to whip that bitch ass if she give me an opportunity to do it. She owed me another match and I want it. And of course, Tiffany came out there and was like, I'm not doing it because I don't have to. And you're not worth. And she just sounds like a little teeny bopper 12-year-old. And I can't. I just can't. So I fast forwarded through everything she was talking about, and Thea was just basically like, she said, you want another title? You want another rematch? Fine, I'll give you one. I could beat you. I've already beat you. It's not hard. It'll be the easiest title defense of my career. And I'm like, sure, whatever. So Thea was like, I got another condition. She said, I wanted to be a submission match. Tiffany wasn't having it. Tiffany said, no, we're not doing that. Ain't gonna be no submission. So that bitch put her in that arm lock and made her scream that she would do the submission match. She shouldn't have came in there with them ugly ass glitter shoes on. She wear every time she wear them shoes, she get her ass whooped. Every goddamn time. I hate them damn shoes, by the way. And I got a question for some of the white people that watch my lives. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing because it's a legitimate question that I am asking. It don't matter what kind of shoes y'all buy, they always be an inch or two too big. Like if I feel like Tiffany would actually be like a size 8, but she buy a size 9 or a 9.5 and she's an 8, or like she's a 9 and she buy a 9.5. But daddy, she didn't have no heel on the back of her foot. This was a what was it, a mule type of shoe? And it had a strappy top. She didn't have no heel on the back of that foot.
It was kind of like a sling back, just with the straps across the middle of her feet.
But it's a mule then. If it don't have no strap on the back of the ankle, it's a mule. So I'm just saying, why you got that kind of shoe? You bought it a half size bigger than it needed to be, and every time you walk, it's more shoe showing than your foot. I'm just trying to ask. I'm trying to ask the white people in my life if they're gonna tell me, because I don't understand that. I usually buy my shoes to fit. And my foot always go to the back of the shoe. Her foot don't never go to the back of her shoe, even if it's no back on it. Even if it's just a mule type of shoe or a sling back, a regular pump, it don't matter. She always got all this extra space. First of all, my thing is, how you walking in them shoes comfortably and secure? You gonna bust your ass in them shoes.
You see how so she was walking her ass down to the ring?
Girl, I don't understand. Let me see if somebody answer me, because I don't get it. I really don't. I do not understand it. Alexa said, as a white woman, I'm not sure why they do that. I get my shoes to fit. Alexa said, I get my shoes to fit. They don't. I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like, you buying it way too big for your foot, ma'am. Girl. Alexis said, as a white woman, I'm not sure why they do it. I get my shoes to fit. Shit. That's a mess. She said, I've seen them do this and it looks so trashy. I don't get it. I'm just asking because I needed some clarity. Somebody needed to tell me something. Because this show is some freaky shit. Anyway, so Thea was able to submit Tiffany into giving her the title that she wanted. She said, are you borrowing somebody else's shoes? Girl, they buy them off the rack like that. I don't get it. Anyway, I really wanted to know. I legitimately wanted to know that. That was just something I had seen, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I'm like, why is her shoes so big? Anyway, y'all. So Thea was able to submit Tiffany into the type of match that she wanted. So the match has been set, and as Sean Connery would say, the game is on. Okay, the girls is gonna be fighting at a Great American Bash, and it is gonna be in a submission match. Now I don't know exactly how all that's gonna work, but it's supposed to happen. So it is what it is. Oh, that just leaves such a sour taste in my mouth. That sucks ass. That sucks. That sucks so much. Like just 5 fucking minutes. Like, they haven't posted the stuff up on the page yet, but it has been spoken. So So I know Liv used to borrow Carmela's when they get matched, but that's a different situation. Okay. I buy mine off the rack at Marshalls, but I check the sizes. 10 on the women, 8 in guys. Unless they buying them online and the sizes are wrong. No, because I've seen women go in the store and physically pick up these shoes and they are too big. They're a half size too big. Or if they can't get it into the half, they buy an actual size, like a whole size too big. And I just be trying to figure out, like, why are you buying your shoes that big, man? Like, what are you doing? Sneakers, sandals, slides. It's hard to find shoes my size, so I usually get shoes that are bigger than my foot, and boots when I find a good pair. Child, just Fab does wonders. Okay. Like, I'm a size 13, but sometimes there are no size 13, so I get a 14 or 15. Yeah, but you're like 17, 18 years old, and I guarantee you're going to grow another foot before you turn 21. So you're probably going to end up growing into those 14 or 15s. I'm talking about grown adult women who are literally going in the store. And this is not like, I can understand buying a pair of sneakers a half size bigger for the room, but we're talking about heels, stilettos. You're walking around with stilettos that are flopping off the back of your foot. I don't see how that makes any fucking sense to me. Tiffany had on a platform heel today that was glittered out, which they're ugly. I hate those shoes. She had a platform heel on today. And on top of that, they were too big. She had about a half inch in the back of her shoe where her foot never touched the back of the shoe. It never touched the back of the shoe. Your foot, and from the toe part to the back, your foot should feel that shoe. There's no reason for you to have that much shoe on there. Well, we were having a discount at 20% at my store, if you're wondering, Alexis. They are a size 5 wearing nines. Right. It just don't make no sense. Hiram, you got Vera DeMilo feet. Oh Lord. Kayla, don't tell me that because I'll buy everything. I'm a size 7 or 7.5 for women, 5 or 5.5 for men. Okay. Never mind. You're too young to know who or what that is. Well, my mom's friend is a shopaholic who buys shoes and she's my size, so she gives them to me. Period. So the other matches that happened tonight, Oro Mensa went up against Eddie Thorpe today. Eddie Thorpe and Oro had a pretty decent match, but the best part about that match, I kid you not, the best part about that match was Noam Dar. When I tell you, his ass is hilarious. He been distraught since he lost that Heritage Cup. He done went full catatonic. He does not move. He does not speak. He been sitting in that chair. He ain't got no goddamn shoes on. Got his foot bandaged up. When Oro had the match with Eddie, Lash picked him up out the damn chair and put him in the middle of the ring, and this fool was laying face down in the ring and did not move. The referee had to roll his ass out the ring. They grabbed him. Oro was able to get the drop on Eddie and pick up the win. This was after Dijak had came in there and kicked him in the face because he ain't like the fact that he was considered tougher than him. Bitch, everybody tougher than you at this point. At this point, I expect nothing else than you being a loser. You're a loser, Dijak. Loser. You're a loser. Accept it. Embrace it. You're a loser. Get over it. I don't know why you're so mad at Eddie Thorpe. He didn't do nothing to you. He didn't do a damn thing to you. He wasn't even thinking about you. That's why your ass bad. Shit. That shit took me out. I'm like, sir, don't nobody give a damn. Nobody give a damn. I'm not thinking about you. Not at all. Oh, so he took out Eddie. Basically got taken out by Oro, and that was it. Oro picked up the win. That still didn't cheer up Noam Dar. He was still hurt that he lost that Heritage Cup. And then they also gave Gable Stevenson some time to decide what he wants to do. He could either go into the Olympics next year, which is happening in the next year, the Summer Olympics. They're going to be doing the Summer Olympics next year. He could either do that. There's still some U.S. tournaments for wrestling that he could still get into, or he could actually start his career in NXT. Quite frankly, I don't really care what he does. I mean, he cool or whatever, but I just don't care. Um, yeah, he is still there. Is that a Jim Carrey character? And if I don't like them, I take them to my college donations box. Period. Not Lash carried him. Child, she carried him. She carried him in the ring. Yes, Gable Stevenson is still there. Anywho's is y'all. Let's get to the part of the show that that pissed me off. Now earlier that night, Mustafa warned Wesley that this is not the kind of match he should have been taking a few weeks before NXT's A Great American Bash. And of course, Wesley was like, "You don't think I can beat him?" He said, "That's not true." He said, "Dominic, there's a reason why they call him Dirty Dom." And he said, "You have to understand that you're not only going to be fighting him, his girlfriend Rhea's going to be right by his side, not to mention Finn and Damien will be somewhere lurking in the shadows." He said, "It's too much for one person to handle. I think this is a bad idea, given the fact that it was coming from Mustafa. I didn't think that I don't think that Wesley took into consideration what he was saying. And unfortunately for him, Mustafa was very much correct. Majority of this match, Wesley and Dominic were going back and forth. And to be honest, outside of kayfabe, it was a very good match for both of them. It showcased what Dominic was capable of up against a more formidable opponent like Wesley, but it also tested Wesley in a different territory. You see, Wesley is used to people who are on his level in terms of speed, agility, and wrestling capability. But you take somebody like Dominic, who's considered to be a hybrid style wrestler, who can do what we call ground and pound wrestling, slow things down and force you to fight on his level. It makes things different. It makes you have to change up your offense and your defense to be able to compete effectively, which is what Wesley was able to do. It took a little bit of time to get him there, but he did do it. Now, where things started to change is when Wesley literally took over the entire match. And that's when you saw Rhea Ripley climb up on the apron. And well, actually, it was Finn Balor who climbed up on the apron. And that's when Damian Priest got in the ring and tried to hit Wesley with the belt. This was after Dominic was taking his title from him and walking out claiming it was his. He's taking it. Wesley was able to get him out of the ring. He dove out of the ring. He put him back in there. Damian Priest tried to attack as Finn got on the apron, and they were able to knock Wesley out with that belt. They got out of the ring. The ref counted 1, 2, 3, and Dominic Mysterio is now the North American champion. I have a problem with this. I just do. I don't like it. Um, and it's all because they want Judgment Day to all have gold. I have a feeling that they're going to end up going to SummerSlam. They already set for SummerSlam with Finn. Finn's probably going to get that title at SummerSlam, which is fine. If he doesn't get it at SummerSlam, he's going to defend it at Payback, and he's going to end up either. I hope they do it the way that Don said it, which was um, somehow Damien cost Finn the opportunity by stealing it from him, something along those lines. And then this whole group needs to just break down, because what I'm not liking is that everything flows through them. It's like having to watch the bloodline shit all over again, and I think that there's enough of that. We've had enough of that. Do I think factions need to be a part of the shows? Sure, 100%. You got to have factions. Factions make things fun. But when you're just like switching one faction for another, and we're stuck in this limbo of overexposure of one aspect of a show. You're using this faction to push over everybody and to do everything. Nobody's getting through. There's no camaraderie. There's nothing. We're not getting anything new. Everything fields through the Judgment Day on Raw, and everything fields through the Bloodline on SmackDown. And I'm indifferent to that. While I like the storyline with Seth and Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio's rise is just ass. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all like it because he's a heel, fine. That's your business. My problem with it is I could feel better about it if he had to just beat Wesley clean, one up, and I just been like, damn, like they couldn't just let Wesley get this one and then drop it to Mustafa. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't have nothing to say because there's nothing to say. But they did it how they always do it. They take the cheap route out, they find that bullshit ass storyline to do, and then they do this shit just so he can walk around bragging that he's champion. This is not something that I want to see. I just don't. I hate this. It's a nuisance. And I'm just like, I already have to deal with Rhea Ripley and her bullshit. You have to listen to fucking Damian Priest screaming that he's senior money in the bank every 2 seconds. And then probably by next week or the week after, we're going to have to listen to one of them screaming that they fucking champion while still being in the Judgment Day. So they're going to be taking over Monday Night Raw, having full on promos between the four of them for over 20 minutes. It's unnecessary. I don't want to watch that. I just don't. So that might be something y'all happy to see, but I can see where this is going. I'm not okay with it. This is gonna be some bullshit. She said it makes her stomach lurch. Wasn't Don botching hard like a week ago? He had a couple botches in that match a week ago, but that whole show was botchy. And it leads me to believe that some of those matches were changed because it was everything was botchy about that show. It wasn't just him. But you could botch and be champion. Damien has botched before. We've seen Rhea Ripley botch multiple times against Charlotte and other people. We've seen Finn Balor have botched matches. He had a botch match of the same show that Dom had a match that was botchy. So that don't have no bearing on whether he should be champion or not. And that's not my issue. I don't care. I don't care. I was entertained. Crazier things have happened in the E. Dom ain't gonna be champ for long because I think they're gonna give that title to Ali, which is long overdue. Okay. I warned y'all, but no one fucking listens to me. So why not just do Lee versus Ali instead of this BS? I barely survived the bloodline and I'm skipping around Judgment Day segments. They operate like a person who can't decide on the outfit. They do everything ass backwards. I'm sick and tired of the Judgment Day all over 3 shows. Why are they now doing this with them? First of all, I believe why Judgment Day is in NXT is because they bring in a lot of ratings. Whether people like them or not, the overall consensus of Judgment Day is that people actually enjoy watching them cause the chaos that they cause. Me personally, I can give less than a fuck about Judgment Day, but a lot of people like them. I mean, individually, I like them as individuals. As a group, I'm not so sold on them as a group. Do I think that they've brought themselves up from where they were over a year ago? Sure. Because a year ago, they were ass. I'm just not a fan of them as a whole. I'm not a fan of them as a collective, period. So I can give less than a damn what they're doing on NXT. I didn't want to see the match to begin with, if we're being honest. That wasn't something that I wanted to see. I don't care about Dominic Mysterio wrestling anybody. But he had a good match with Wesley. I can give props where props is due. To Kenny's point, entertained or not, I wasn't entertained by that because I didn't want to see the match. So I barely watched it, but I watched the parts that was necessary. I saw what I needed to see. I got to see the good parts of the match where Dominic and him was going back and forth. I saw where Dom, tried to take the title. I pushed through that. And I saw the end where they cheated. To me, that's not entertaining. But if it's entertaining to you, that's your business. But I don't like it. If it was done on somebody who deserved it, sure, I'm all for it. That wasn't entertaining to me because it seemed like it was it was bound to happen. But I just didn't think that they would do that to Wesley at this point, especially after Carmelo had the title. And after Carmelo had the title for so long and Wesley had it and was able to have so much done with that title, to build that title up and to have it for so long and to be such a good champion with it, fighting everybody that came his way and was having better matches than the champion at the time, which was Brian Breaker. Like, Wesley was still in the show at every given point, no matter who he was going up against, no matter who challenged him, he was at the pinnacle. This title being on Dominic, y'all said the same thing about Austin Theory having a championship. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But y'all go off. I hope it work out for you. Me personally, I'm just gonna sit back and be like, I told you so. Like, I'd rather tolerate Roman taking forever to get to the ring than seeing the Judgment Day for 20 minutes on Raw and NXT. Well, you might as well get prepared, hon, because that's what's about to happen. Now, I know a lot of people are speculating that Dominic is going to end up, well, he has to defend that championship at Great American Bash. That's like 2 weeks from now. So at Great American Bash, it's going to change to Dominic going up against Mustafa Ali. Other than, or they might make it a triple threat for that championship, which means more than likely Dominic will not get pinned for that title. It's more than likely going to be Wesley to get pinned in that match. If that's what happens, who knows? But I'm not going to be worried about it because Dominic isn't somebody. I'm not going to listen to Dominic come running around with that championship. I'm just not. But everybody that was on Twitter that was begging for this man to get a title, he has one now. I hope that it plays out in your favor the way you have been begging for this man to get this championship. I hope he give you what you asking for. That's all I'm gonna tell you. How come everyone, and I'll throw myself on this line too, was bitching about Charlotte being on all 3 shows, but mute of these fucks? Only took them 2 fucking years. Jesus, I'm turning into Cornette because of this. I don't mind Charlotte on all 3 shows. I know I'm in the minority though. Just look at the people in the background that tells you everything. When I tell you them people was salty, nobody was happy that Dominic won that championship. That's not even me trying to be funny or being disrespectful. Like, Judge, you saw it. Was people upset or was they cheering? Everybody was mad. Like, nobody was happy about that shit. So that was just in the audience, but I'm sure all over social media, a lot of people are happy because a lot of people like Dominic in the Judgment Day. There were some people in the audience that are Dominic Mysterio fans. They're Rhea Ripley fans, which kudos to you, bitch. But WWE don't do nothing for the love of the fans. You know that. I know that. We all know that. They do not do what's best for the fans. They do what they think is best for business. And in this case, that's what they think is best for business. Me personally, I don't care about Dominic being champion. The only thing I wanted was it to be at least for it to be fair. But they're heels, so that's how everybody justifies it. Fine. It is what it is. I'm not listening to Dominic Mysterio boast and scream and holler about how he's a dominant champion. I'm not fucking doing it. I already have to listen to his bitch do it. I'm not gonna listen to him do it too. I'm not. So he come across my TV, I'm muting it. I don't care. At the end of the day, can't nobody take away shit from Wes Lee. He was a great champ. This concludes my wrestling thoughts for the night. Cause, well, yeah. If he did this on his own, maybe it wouldn't make me want to hurl, but it's always Judgment Day saving his ass. But I hope y'all are happy. Can't wait to see you bitch within a short period of time. I'm just not okay with this. I don't like it. So if you do, that's your personal business. I ain't saying that you can't like it. We can agree to disagree and still be cool. I don't want to see Dominic as champion, especially right now. Because I know where this is going. I can see where this is going. I don't want to hear about it later though, from nobody. Because I don't think he's gonna drop it at Great American Bash. I don't think he's dropping that title at Great American Bash. In fact, I think he's going to retain it at Great American Bash. So, but y'all, if y'all are happy that he has the title, kudos. I'm glad that y'all are enjoying him as champion for as long as he's going to be champion. I don't think the man is going to drop it at Great American Bash. It is what it is. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to talk about wrestling the way I talk about it. Dominic is going to be champion NXT. I'm going to ignore him the way that I ignored Mandy because I didn't like Mandy being champion. I don't like him being champion. I don't see the difference. So, like I said, if you like it, I love it. That's your business. Me personally, I'm going to be like, they can stay over there. But I think I will say this about it. I do think that the way that they are moving is interesting because they're not doing the status quo. They're making people upset. They're causing issues. They're making people have conversations. And that's what people have been begging for years. So I can't really be too mad at them for causing this much discord. I just don't want to see Dominic Mysterio as champion. It is what it is. However, y'all do with that what you will. You know, I ain't gonna be mad at you for liking what you like. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now next week it's a couple more matches they're gonna have next week. Kaylani's gonna go up against Cora Jade again. I guess. Can I have a chord to this, please? The final thing that happened during the show was that Blair Davenport and Roxanne are not allowed to be in the same room with each other. So they had an interview. But before that, Booker T was talking to Roxanne, and he was like, "You can't be living in the past. You got to move forward. If you continue to keep looking backwards," he said, "Blair Davenport's going to take you out." And that was sent by NXT Anonymous, and Booker T was pissed because he was like, "I was having a private conversation with Roxanne, and y'all ain't got no fucking security here." He was upset, like, "Ain't no motherfucking security in here, ain't nothing in here going," like, and I'm like, okay, you can't be mad when, but I'm like, you wasn't mad when NXT Anonymous was telling you all the tea from everybody else. You weren't mad about that, but you mad because it reported on you, Booker. Well, did you get mad when they showed you last week on Twitter smoking a joint? Because that was weed in your hand. I know a joint when I see one. You was smoking weed, my guy. You didn't get mad about that shit. I'm just saying. Which lies in the question. Y'all love a heat magnet until the novelty wears off. How much longer does Dom have now? In Dominic's defense, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I don't hate Dominic. I don't like his little bitch of a character. So as far as I'm concerned, that's my only issue. My issue was I just wish some things would just be done without all of the extraness of it. It just don't have to be this way, is my point. Like I said, if he had a won fair and square, would I have been disappointed? Yeah, but what else can I say? He pinned Wesley 1, 2, 3, no issues. So I can't really be mad. I could be pissed, like, damn, I wanted Wesley to win. But what can I do? The man lost. You feel me? But like this, it's like the opportunity for things to be different could have been different. And they made sure to make sure Dominic got this win. I'm just like, it's been like that for months. When hasn't he won something except for last week? I mean, this past Monday. Every other match he's won. He hasn't lost a match. He hasn't lost a match in months. He lost a couple for the last 2 weeks. 2 matches he's lost. And it's just like, damn, like nobody else has had that kind of track record. Nobody. Do with it what you will, but it is what it is. He never had time for me. I hope that makes sense as an answer to your question. Everyone just talks about him being a heat magnet. Other than that, what does he bring? Dominic Mysterio isn't a bad wrestler. I just think he needs to tighten up and clean up. Oftentimes I find that some people, when they're heels, they deem that as being able to cut corners in the worst way possible. He wasn't that great when he was a face wrestler. And now, even as a heel wrestler, like he kind of gets exposed sometimes in the ring. But then again, like I said, he's not as bad as some people. It's very clear he has very good wrestling prowess. He has good ring awareness. He's capable. And that's where Nicole was like, if he went into NXT, he would be great. But I don't think she meant NXT in this capacity. I think she meant the ground and pound of NXT, the leveling up you have to do in NXT, the work you have to put in NXT. That's not the same as being on the main roster. And don't get me wrong, Dominic Mysterio had a lot of nepotism coming into the WWE. He was able to swim because he had those around him helping him up. You see what I'm saying? So while I understand people's frustration, I'm not going to shit on him completely because it's not entirely Dominic's fault. My thing is, if you're going to be a heel, he's the slimy version of a heel. The same way that, Austin Theory is a slimy version of a heel. The same issue I have with Theory is the same issue I have with Dominic Mysterio. The only difference is when you watch an Austin Theory match, he actually has good matches. I can't deny that. He has good matches. And I don't like fucking Austin Theory. But when Austin Theory wrestles and he wins clean, I don't shit on him for winning clean. I simply be like, there's nothing I can do. The man won fair and square. What can I say? All right. So, moving on. Back to Roxanne and Blair. Roxanne told Blair that they going to Texas for that match at Great American Bash. And Blair Davenport was like, well, in front of all your friends and family, you're going to get your ass whooped, basically. She was like, I'm going to hurt you. And then you're never going to be able to wrestle here in NXT again. You're never going to come back to Florida. She said, matter of fact, Austin is only a few hops and a skip away from here. You can take your ass back to where you came from because you don't belong here. She said, you're a pipsqueak of a human being. You don't belong here. And every time Roxanne tried to talk, she cut her off. So Roxanne got up, took her mic off, and she left. She didn't go back out there and do nothing to Blair, but I suspect that Blair Davenport is not winning at Great American Bash. If she does, I'll be surprised, but Roxanne is going to get her licks in before then if she does. Now, Kaylani also was working out with Dana. Dana and her was doing their gymnastics things together. And of course, Cora Jade was back there watching and, trying to be all Miss Mean Girl, but then got in her feelings and busted her kendo stick against the lockers.
Ooh.
And I was like, girl, what do that mean? What you mad for? I thought you said it was lame. You mad because you ain't got no friends. You mad because you lonely. You mad because you by yourself. But you kind of did that to yourself, babe. You did that to yourself. So it is what it is. Now, next week is going to be Kaylani and Cora Jade. They're gonna go up against each other again. I don't know what they're gonna do with Lopez and Lola, but she lost fair and square to Thea Hale today, and it was a lightweight embarrassing. The metaphor, I don't know what they're gonna do with the metaphor because one of the metaphor is catatonic. He ain't talked in about 2 months.
It's the meta 3 now.
He ain't said nothing. They've been trying to keep him together, but they just wheeling his ass out there, and child, it's sad. Anyways, that was NXT, babes. Now, next week, it looked like, you know what else I want to talk about? So, it looked like, I told y'all last week that Julius and Brutus are in the schism and they back there causing discord, right? So, what happened today was, for some reason, Joe Gacy and Schism walked up Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams as they was walking out. And they wanted to talk to them about the tension, the palatable tension between them and Ilya. Ilya walked up and Carmelo like, why do you keep hopping in my business, bro? And Ilya was like, actually, I'm not. I was just walking by, but since, I don't really like Joe Gacy, I'm going to come over here and tell him straight up, like, I don't like you, nigga. Like, straight up. I mean, he was in his face. Now, ultimately, Ilya was in Joe Gacy's face. Carmelo was standing next to him. Ilya pulled back, and Joe Gacy was standing there talking his shit to Carmelo and Ilya. That's when Julius pushed Joe Gacy into them, and they started fighting. Now, here's the thing. I'm telling y'all that it is Julius and Brutus back there, and they're gonna destroy the schism from within. Because you have to remember, the dyad is leaving in October. They're not gonna be there. Halloween Havoc is probably gonna be the time when the schism implodes and Creed brothers show their faces back again in NXT and wreaking all this havoc on the schism. Okay. Mark my words, that's what's gonna happen, okay? Because they're currently in the schism right now. They're hiding behind those masks, but I know them next that they got anywhere, okay? I know them fools is back there. So We gonna see, but I'm telling you that that is what's happening. Oh yeah. There you are. There you have it. Show's over, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share the video. All right. I will be back live tomorrow and we will have more conversations about the shows and we'll talk about some other stuff for sure. Y'all be easy out here in these streets. It's just wrestling at the end of the day, okay? You may not like something and the other person might, and that is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We can agree to disagree. We're adults. Well, some of us are. We can agree to disagree and have our own opinions about everything. That doesn't mean I'm wrong or you're wrong. It just means that we disagree on this particular topic. Yeah? All right. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. I probably will go live around 8:39 for Freestyle Wednesday.